You know what the scariest thing is? To not know your place in this world. To not know why you're here. It's just an awful feeling.
What have you done?
I almost gave up hope. There were so many times I questioned myself.
You killed all those people.
But I found you. So many sacrifices. Just to find you.
After the enormous success of The Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan came back with yet another thrilling film, Unbreakable, which is a story about ordinary people looking for a supernatural element of or event in their lives. Bruce Willis plays the role of David Dunn, who soon realizes he has extraordinary abilities as a consequence of a train accident. Now, the relationship between him and his son, Joseph, emphasizes the supernatural element, as Joseph is very excited with the idea that his father is a real-life superhero. Meanwhile, David and his wife, Audrey, have to patch up their crumbling marriage, sooner rather than later. However, David meets Elijah Price, played by Samuel motherfucking Jackson, who thinks and actually tries to persuade David that he is indeed a modern-day superhero. M. Night Shyamalan succeeds again in surprising the audience with another twist in the plot. The viewers realize at the end of the film that Elijah has stayed numerous disasters for the past few years in order for him to discover his superhero ego. And this is precisely the message of Unbreakable, a series of tragedies that had to occur in order to let us know that they happened because of the kids. They call me Mr. Glass. This ending was so powerful because it tells us what our mental health experts have been so reluctant to accept. They blinded to the truth by their own basic assumptions about human behavior, such as there are no simple explanations, and violence is a learned behavior. The school shootings following Columbian have been breaking down the experts' resistance to seeing the significance of being teased. When you take into account that Shyamalan had to have written the script before the Columbian massacre, it makes the film that much more ahead of its time. Now, M. Night Shyamalan has a great sensitivity for the suffering of teasing victims. After seeing Unbreakable for the first time, I went out and rented The Sixth Sense and watched it for a second time. I saw what, I am ashamed to admit, escaped me for the first time. Both the deranged patient who kills Bruce Willis' character and the disturbed boy he treats were called freak by their peers. My educated guess is that M. Night Shyamalan himself was a victim of teasing as a child and knows the pain it brings. If he wasn't, I'm sorry for suggesting that he was. Now, I have discussed a little more than the meaning of the ending of Unbreakable. However, if I could easily write a book about the film, Shyamalan expertly weaves into this film a broad number of issues and questions raised about the nature of violence, the comfort that comic books give to victims of teasing, the lack of heroes in our mediocre times. Basically, comic books are modern mythology reflecting our subconscious personalities, that good and evil, hero and villain are interdependent. That tragedy is necessary for growth, that conflict between society's love of violent sports and its abhorrence of violence, the relationship between male heroism and romantic love, the difference between male and female attitudes towards aggression, the importance of courage and physical strength for the father-son bond, the role of emotional pain in distorting a person's judgment of good and evil, that those who use their minds for evil are more dangerous than those who use their bodies, that evil fiends can be raised by loving and devoted parents, and that both villains and heroes can be found behind the mask of ordinary people.
So many sacrifices. Just to find you.
Jesus Christ.
Now that we know who you are, I know who I am. I'm not a mistake. It all makes sense. In a comic, you know how you can tell who the arch villain's going to be? He's the exact opposite of the hero. And most times they're friends like you and me. I should have known way back when. You know why, David? Because of the kids. They called me Mr. Glass. Now that we know who you are, I know who I am. I'm not a mistake. It all makes sense. In a comic, you know how you can tell who the arch villain's going to be? He's the exact opposite of the hero. And most times they're friends like you and me. I should have known way back when. You know why, David? Because of the kids.